All I want for Puppy to understand is that when she comes to me, good things happen. We're going to be training my rescue dog up here to start having perfect recall. Hey guys, welcome back to Canine Training. And on today's video, we're going to be training my rescue dog up here to start having perfect recall. So if you are new here, this is a rescue dog that has had a pretty terrible start to life. She was born in a rescue centre. She then barely survived parvo. She was stuck in a kennel for 12 weeks. She was part of an ongoing legal investigation, which when I eventually fostered her at around 12 weeks old, she couldn't leave my farm, but now she's officially my dog, and we're going to be training her up to be my next role model dog to come with me on the high-level behaviour intervention cases that I work on. We need to ensure that she has perfect recall training, and that is exactly what we're going to be starting to build up the foundations of today. Because Puppy had to go back when we thought we'd lost her, she's come back to me with some few niggly behaviours, so we're currently going through a boot camp process. The boot camp process, my Fenrir boot camp process that I designed and developed, is something that I've used with thousands of my clients, and it's designed to instill rules, boundaries, expectations, and build a relationship with your dog where they look up to you for guidance and direction because you've become a calm, consistent canine leader. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be teaching recall in my kind of balanced philosophy. So I've got my Fenrir slip lead here, which is my Fenrir long line slip lead, which allows me to get a bit of space. And then I've got a pouch full of treats. So when we're doing these initial tune-ups of recall, all I want for Puppy to understand is that when she comes to me, good things happen. So if I can get her attention, I'm not going to use my command yet. Oh yes, oh good girl, oh yes. And I bring her to me. Now that might seem like a simple act, but the act of me moving away, you notice, brings her energy levels up, and it makes her more interested in following me. So if I do that same thing, if I move away, once I get moving, oh yes, she starts to pick up a pace and wants to catch up with me. Then when she starts to build this concept up, that when she gets to me, a good thing happens in the form of me paying her with food, we're starting to build up that concept of coming to me is a wonderful thing. And that's always what we want to layer recall on. So when I start these very, very initial recall sessions, this is a beautiful example. I wait for her to be distracted by something else. I start moving away. Oh yes, oh good girl. And then when she gets to me, I pay her. And all we're doing is we're repping this over and over again till she starts to build up the concept that coming to me is a wonderful thing. Then what we want to start doing is adding a cue to that behaviour. The behaviour is come to me, but I want to be able to cue it up. I want to use a puppy come as my command for teaching recall. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm not going to command it to start with. I'm going to get her coming to me. Puppy come. Oh yes, good come. Oh good come. Yes, good come. And I'm repeating that come command. When she starts coming to me, she knows that yes, good, whatever the cue is, means you're doing a great job. And we just start to build up that principle. So again, we do the same thing. I get her to start coming to me. When she's coming, I'm setting her up for success. Puppy come. Yes, good come. Brilliant. So we've cued the behaviour, set them up for success, we've lured it, then we cue it up with our term, which is come, and then when she starts to come, we mark it, that's another dog trainer's term, with yes, good come, and then when she gets to us, when she finishes off the behaviour, we pay her, we use positive reinforcement. Now, lots of people can do that, and lots of people can achieve that, but what happens when the dog ignores you? This is where far too many people start to have significant problems with their recall training. When your dog's off lead, if they decide to ignore you because something's more interesting, and you cue the behaviour, come, and they ignore it, then you've lost. So we need the ability of being able to correct them from ignoring the command, to be able to ensure that we're always achieving success. And this is a lovely example, and that is why I use and I've developed my long line slip leads. Slip leads are my favourite tool in the world. I use them every single day for helping dogs walk beautifully to heel and helping have dogs that look up to you for guidance and direction. And what that allows us to do is do what we call a pressure on, pressure off system. And you can do this for many different things, but with recall, it's especially powerful. So in this situation here, I apply a little bit of pressure, puppy come, yes, and the pressure turns off, and then she gets paid. Now a lot happens there really quickly, so let me break that down. So we've got a slip lead that has an action. It provides a little bit of pressure to the dog when you put tension on the lead. What I need puppy to understand is that happens when I'm trying to communicate something with her. So right now, she's off in the bushes having a sniff. You can see I'm going to apply some pressure. Puppy come, yes. And as soon as she gives into that pressure and abides by my command, we mark the behavior, yes. Brilliant, you're doing a great job. And when you get to me, I'm going to pay you for it. And that's all we're doing, we're drilling. So we're pressure on, pressure off, reinforce. We don't need much distance to help her understand this. If you're watching at home, you've got two choices. You can apply the pressure first, ask for the behavior, cue it up. When they listen and start to conform, you turn the pressure off and then you pay them. Or you can ask for the behavior first. If they listen, then you just pay them straight away and there's never any pressure whatsoever. Or like I say, I can demonstrate where we always use pressure. And I'm going to be using pressure in this example to set her up for success later on when we're doing more advanced work that is silent and using nothing more than pressure. It's just simply a communication means. So what I wanted to do is be distracted. Again, I've done so much work just in general with puppy on looking up to me for guidance and direction. It's what she's doing now. She's always checking in on me and checking that if there's anything that she needs to do. But like I say, what you're going to happen, and it happens really quickly, so watch for it as I do it. Pressure goes on, that means the lead goes taut, a little bit of pressure goes on the slip. I then ask her to come, and as soon as she listens, I turn the pressure off. That means the lead goes slack, and then as soon as she gets to me, I pay it. That is a very, very powerful way of communicating with a dog. So if we watch, pressure goes on, yes. I didn't even have a chance to cue the behavior then because she gave into the pressure straight away. So what we're going to do again, ideally, this is why we use spaces like this where there's some distraction. We want her to be distracted. I want her to start going off and sniffing because then it gives me an opportunity to drill it. So I'm going to stand and kind of not pay her any mind while I talk to you. So this is a nice example while she's being distracted by a butterfly. Here we go. Pressure goes on. Puppy come. Yes. Good girl. Oh, good girl. Yes. Good girl. I applied pressure with the slip. I then asked for the behavior. As soon as she started coming, pressure goes off. Then when she gets to me, I pay her. That chain of events is a wonderful mechanism for training a dog. Now what I'm doing, not only is this allowing me to build foundations of wonderful recall, it's also allowing me to help communicate with a lead. She understands what lead pressure means, how to give in to lead pressure, how to turn lead pressure off. That's amazingly powerful. It starts to build this relationship where she's naturally wanting to be around me, doing this, where she's always checking in with me, looking up to me for guidance and direction. And then powerfully for me, for really advanced work later on, it's starting to set up the process for e-collar training, where I can do exactly this, half a mile away, with no lead whatsoever. The principle at that stage will be exactly the same. Pressure goes on with the e-collar, and I'm going to demonstrate it's not shocking them, it's nothing more than just a tap, tap, tap. And she goes, oh yeah, where is he? Oh, he's over there. And as soon as she starts coming back to me, the pressure shuts off. And then when she gets to me, I then pay her. And there's lots of different variations around that, and we can take that to even higher levels. But for recall right now, if you want to start to achieve really high levels of success, be able to come along with me for the journey of what it takes, not just to create a perfect canine companion, but a perfect role model dog. This is a dog that's going to come to me to assist me with cases of German Shepherds that have mauled children, Rottweilers that have killed other animals, incredibly aggressive dogs, incredibly reactive dogs. I need a perfect, under control dog in all environments and situations where I don't have to think about them to help me unpick those significant behaviors. It isn't rocket science, but just by putting in the drills, this is the result. You find a dog that wants to be with you. Pressure goes on. Puppy come. Yes. Good girl. Yes. And pressure turns off. And that is the foundation of the recall work that we're doing during this boot camp. through these repetitions, through really charging that marker, making that cue really powerful. Lovely example. So watch this, pressure goes on. Puppy come, yes. As soon as she gave into it, I released all pressure, yes. And she gets paid when she comes to me. Absolutely wonderful. So come along for the journey. Within another few sessions, we'll remove this lead. We'll make sure her heel work is fantastic. We'll get her perfect in all different socializing environments, busy town centers, cities, all the way to beautiful countryside, different animals. Then we're gonna start layering up the e-collar, and then we're gonna start taking her to help with other dogs that are really struggling. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next episode.